Retain gang, what's poppin', man? This your boy Tay, back at y'all again with another video. Peace, love, and abundance, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. As always, if you want to support the channel, I'll leave all my links in my description. Make sure y'all check out the Retain Gang community as well, man. We have a good time. We have some great conversations, and it's a lot of good content that can help you on your journey, all right? So I'll leave that in my description as well. But I got a question from a guy, and he wants to know, what's the difference between a guy that's just starting off first day on his journey compared to a guy that's been on a year? All right. And I don't know if you meant a year streak or just a year in general of making mistakes, you know, trial and error. All right. But either way, you're gonna receive benefits, right? And I'll talk about a year streak just because I've been there. I'll talk about both actually, because I've been in both. I've went years, you know, on and off, making mistakes, and then I've been on year streaks as well. Okay, so right off the bat, for both of them, you're gonna notice an increase in energy, right? And we already know about this. You hear this a lot on a lot of, you know, platforms that talk about retention, talk about the increased energy, the increased libido to get things done. But when I speak about energy, I'm also speaking about presence. I felt more in tune with whatever I was doing, whether I was at work, whether I was talking to someone, whether I was doing an activity, watching TV. Everything felt like I was present, super present. Like everything feels like it's 4K. Because when I used to release a lot, I noticed that I wasn't as in tune as I am now. Like I was going through the motions. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really enjoying life. I felt like I was in a lower state of consciousness. All right, but when I got on this journey, man, I mean, it's not gonna take you a year to feel these benefits, but after a year, it's like these things become solidified. You become like Superman. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna notice right off the bat, being on this journey that long is just the way that you're present, the way your energy is stapled into your activities, and the people around you is going to notice that too, right? Because remember, most people that's around you don't have sexual discipline either, so your energy is going to be different to them. It might feel a little strange to them, you know what I'm saying? So just know that you're going to get a lot of stares. You're going to get people that's going to gravitate towards you more as well, because they not only are they curious about what's going on with you, but they want some of your energy too. All right? You attract a lot of vampires. You attract a lot of people that want to drain your energy. You attract a lot of people that need your healing. It's a lot that's going on with this, right? So as I always say, guys, you got to protect yourself out here. You know, it can get spooky if you don't know what you're doing. And that's why a lot of you guys, when you start on your journey, you get attacked a lot, or you start going backwards and relapsing a lot because you're not protecting yourself. You can't decide to start stockpiling energy and expect you not to get tested by anybody or anything. It don't work that way, right? When you start increasing your energy, you're going to attract things to you. Another benefit that I gained was my ability to control my impulses. And I had trouble with that before this journey. You know what I'm saying? I would overconsume a lot of things, whether it was sex, whether it was food, whether it was entertainment, instant gratification. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have really no boundaries. But when I got on this journey, you know, you're going for a year. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of strength, right? Especially when you're making mistakes, bro. You're like, man, I'm not doing this again, bro. I'm not building this energy back up. I'm done. I just went on a 30-day streak and lost my energy, man. I don't feel like restarting. That's how you get sometimes. So the fact that you keep on starting from day one and going back, messing up, going back, starting from day one, bro, that takes a lot of courage. That takes a lot of persistence. That means you want it. And I'm gonna tell you like this, don't quit. I don't care how you feel. I've been through that so many times where I felt like, man, I went 86 days, bro, and I relapse. Like, all right, I'm done. But then I would get back on my horse and start that path again. You know what I'm saying? So don't quit on yourself. Keep on going. But what you're going to notice is you're not going to be as impulsive anymore. So you're going to be able to regulate those urges, right? When you get a thought or a feeling inside, you're not going to just act on that just because you feel like it, right? You're going to be able to recall how you used to feel when you was messing up. You're going to recall those times where you were relapsing and be like, nah, it ain't worth it. You know, your judgment gets better. Your decision making gets better. Because now your energy is rising up all the way up to your crown. So you're thinking with your right head now. All right. Not only that, but you've made different neurological connections throughout this time period, right? Within this year. Even if you were making mistakes, you still created new neurological pathways. So you're not the same person you were on day one. You're not the same person you were when you first started, right? So that strength to be able to resist temptation and to resist your bad habits becomes stronger, all right? So that's one of the things you notice. And it's not just resisting temptation. When your neurological connections get stronger, that's going to lead to other things in your life. You being focused, you going after your goals, you being on your purpose, and you not giving up because it's getting hard, right? This translates to every aspect in your life. I'm gonna tell you, bro, there's no better feeling than being able to walk down the junk food aisle or you know, walk past some food that smell good, but you know you don't need it, and you can have the resistance to not go and buy it, right? I can go down the chip aisle and I had the resistance to come back with some hot Cheetos. You know what I'm saying? That's a big feat. And it feels good because you're like, yeah, man, I'm glad I didn't buy that because I didn't need it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to give you a sense of accomplishment. And it's those small wins, bro, that build your confidence up. I think of this journey like you pushing a boulder up a hill, right? You're starting at the base and you like, man, I don't know how I'm going to get this up this hill, but we're just going to start, right? So you start pushing it. You're a little shaky. You know, you ain't strong enough yet to really go the whole way, but you still doing it anyway. Right? You might slip and fall a couple times. You know, the boulder might roll your foot over and you got to start back over. But the more you keep pushing that boulder, your calves get stronger. Your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, everything getting stronger. You gaining muscle. You start gaining endurance. You start getting more confidence, right? So, you know, you was able to push that boulder 10 yards or 20 yards. Now you're doing it 50 yards with ease. Right? Eventually you make it all the way up the hill. And next thing you know, when you get up there, you're a whole different person, bro. Your physique didn't change. Your mindset didn't change. Your confidence changed. Right? That's how I feel like this journey is. Every step of the way that you embark on your journey, bro, you are becoming a better version of yourself. You see? So don't ever think of your failures or what you think is a failure as a loss, as a setback. It's not a setback, right? It's just recalibrating you, you know? Sometimes you got to make mistakes in order for your mind to compute a different way to go about your situation, all right? You got to let your body go through these situations so that it can build muscle memory. You know what to do and what not to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what practice is for. That's why we have practice. That's why you go and do repetition after repetition after repetition so that you train every cell in your body to act accordingly, right? To make the best choices in a sticky situation. So that's what we're doing, bro. We're training every cell in our body. All right? You know, when it comes to women, the attraction rises not just because of your sexual energy, right? That's a big part of it, but it rises because you have a new mindset now. You know, women like a man who has intelligence. She don't want a man that's just trying to get her in between the sheets. You know what I'm saying? She wants somebody who's going to speak intellectual to her, right? Who's going to work her mind. You know, be able to hold a conversation, be able to dive deep and actually know who she is, right? See, everything is SEX. It's just different forms. So The major form for women when you spitting game or talking to her is intellect. You know, it's that connection, that vibe. You gotta set the tone, right? Then from there, you make her feel comfortable enough to be able to express yourself in different ways. All right, but a lot of guys nowadays, bro, you so programmed by the corn that you aggressive. Your approach to her is dissatisfying, right? It's unacceptable. So a lot of women, they get that from guys all the time, right? But when you come with your energy and your mindset and the way that you move, right, you strike something inside of her, right? She feels something come off of you, and that's going to intrigue her. You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of energy you have when you start getting into a year. You start solidifying yourself as a person that don't think with the man down there, but you think up here. You think with your third eye, right? Your spiritual eye. You feel vibes. Like me, I got to a point where I'm not just trying to get after every single woman, trying to get the cheeks from every single woman. I'm more choosy now. I'm going to choose who is going to complement my lifestyle, as opposed to choosing someone based off of the body, based off the looks, based off of sex. Right? That's the type of discernment you gain on this, because you start to realize that your energy is very special. You know, and you start to feel energy from different people anyway. So you're going to get to a point in this journey, because remember, guys, this is going to awaken you as well. You're going through a spiritual awakening with this journey as well, especially a year in. If you go a whole year on here, you don't experience anything, that's cap. You are going to go through an awakening within yourself, a new awareness, new eyes, new ears. Everything's going to change, but your senses are going to literally be redeveloped. And you're going to move through this world using that. So when it comes to people, friends, when it comes to women, family, anybody, you're going to be more cautious. You're going to really pay attention to what they're saying and the type of energy that they're giving off. Right? There's a lot of beautiful women out here, man, but what's her energy saying? Her energy going to tell you everything. Instead of you being thirsty and chasing after a woman who don't clearly have any interest in you, you're going to feel that vibe immediately and be like, yeah, okay, that's not it. You know, everybody's not for me, and I can understand that, but I'm not going to force it. So you stop forcing things. Your manifestation powers become A1. Mwah. I'm telling you, your manifestation powers, bro, things just start working for you. Things become clockwork, automatic. But this is also can be a bad thing. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Because when you start getting into a phase where you can manifest things fast, what's going to happen is you can also manifest negative things, right? Because it's all about your thoughts and your feelings. So don't just think because you got manifestation powers and it's more heightened that you're just going to manifest good things. No, it still depends on you. Remember, you are the satellite, right? You're giving off the signal. So what signal are you giving? Are you giving negativity? Are you giving scarcity? Are you giving fear? That's what you're going to manifest. So this journey also is going to teach you how to regulate your emotions, regulate your thoughts. Okay, you become more self-aware of your inner world, and you take measures to change that and keep the peace at all times. You got to keep your peace. I noticed a year in that my hormones were more balanced, right? So instead of me crashing out, like you'll see a lot of guys on this journey when they first start off, they're very aggressive and you know, I'm a man, you know, type energy. But the longer you go on this journey, that settles down. So your testosterone only comes out when it's needed, right? So your body is going to regulate your hormones. Let's say I'm at the gym and I need to push this last set. My body's going to release testosterone. It's going to give me a boost. When it's time for me to settle down, my body's going to release hormones to do that. So your hormones are going to regulate themselves and give you what you need when the situation calls for it, right? So, you know, these are just a few benefits you're going to experience after a year, and there's even more. When you keep going, it doesn't stop. You're still going to get more and more benefits the longer you stay on this journey. All right. So I hope that answered your question, man. If you guys need help, you got any more questions, I do one-on-one consultations. But also let me know in the comment section. All right. That being said, peace, love, and abundance. And I'm out.